I told you it was going to happen, and it did. Standalone game, Drake Maye. He was in second place with DraftKings MVP odds to Matthew Stafford. Drake Maye is now your favorite to win the MVP. What I love about Drake Maye, and there's a lot to like about him, is there's not a high, a low. You get really consistent numbers with him. He has not had a passing game under 200 yards. He hasn't had a passing game over 300 yards. I love that there's this window, and he's the passing leader right now in the NFL. I like that you don't have to do too much, but you got to do enough, and they're a really good team. Now, we can say the Giants aren't a really good team, but you'd be correct with that at 2-11. So I'm looking at New England now, best record in the AFC. They host Buffalo, they're at Baltimore, they're at the Jets, and then they host Miami. Let's say they go 2-2, maybe 3-1. Okay. Getting the home field advantage. They're not afraid of anybody coming to town. If Kansas City's not in the mix, Baltimore might not be in the mix. Are you worried about Denver coming in? The Colts, Jacksonville. So I would say right now, what New England has done, certainly Mike Vrabel, that he is the third coach to win 10-game winning streak since Jim Caldwell in 2009, Steve Mariucci in 1997. Stat of the day brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the Dan Patrick Show. Yes, Paul?
You know, it's funny, weirdly funny to watch on social media when the Patriots are lighting up last night and their quarterback looks like an MVP candidate. Like, people who don't like the Patriots are responding like, it wasn't long enough, the dip of the Patriots. The post-Brady, post-Belichick dip, it wasn't long enough. They had 2 bad years, 4-13, 4-13. Now they're back atop the AFC. After 20 years of high-end play, they needed more of a break. It's like the Bulls when Jordan left and they had Marcus Fizer. You need some down years.
I thought that they had around a 4 or 5 year run when Belichick was hanging on there, and
they had cooled off. Yeah, in 2001 they were 10-7, made the playoffs. 2022 they were 8-9, missed the playoffs. Then 4-13, 4-13. But it's way too quick to be back up top.
You're right that they found their coach and they found their quarterback. And if you have that in the NFL, you are ahead of the game. You're ahead of 85% of the other teams. You got an MVP candidate, and you got probably the coach of the year with Mike Vrabel. And you look at, every time I see Mike Vrabel, I go, now why didn't Tennessee want to keep him? Tell me, or did he want to stay? And, ownership, new ownership, and they didn't want, but Mike Vrabel, I've said this before, he can coach whatever sport. He can coach whatever team I got. Doesn't matter. Yes, Dylan.
How long do you think until we start hating Drake Maye and Mike Vrabel? 2.5 years of sustained success?
I think you got to win first.
Yeah.
I think you got to win. We don't hate teams that don't win titles.
If they rip off a couple Super Bowls in the next few years,
then you're allowed to hate them.
Yeah.
And they would probably expect that. But there's nothing about Drake Maye where you go, man, I hate that guy, or his attitude or anything. I mean, handing out turkeys during the week for Thanksgiving. I mean, come on.
Anyone
guy seems like
that.
next, and then go out and play like he did against the Giants. By the way, Jackson Dart, please. Tough guys don't last. Not at that position in the NFL. Get out of bounds. And I'm going to talk to Steve Young about this because he learned to get out of bounds. But, these defensive players, they want you to stay in bounds. They want to hit you. And all of a sudden, you got a chance to pop him, and he's not going to get out of bounds. You get whatever you deserve. If he didn't get up, I'd say, that's your fault, dude. Here is Jackson Dart, and it starts with the reporter's question.
It sounds like a broken record, Jackson, just asking you about the hits and taking them and protecting yourself and things like that. Is there anything you would have done different on that one?
No. Look, I understand the question, but this is football. I'm get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. Like I feel like I've played this way my whole entire life. This shouldn't be like any shocker to anybody if you've followed along with my career. And we're not playing soccer out here. Like, you're gonna get hit, things happen. It's part of the game.
Okay. The violence is part of the game. Your goal as a quarterback is to eliminate the opportunities for violence on your body. Getting sacked, just go down. Live to see another play. Get out of bounds. Here's Mike Vrabel on the hit on Jackson Dart.
It's a weekly reminder to the quarterback, our quarterback. We show him every week. Like, I wouldn't get too cute over there by the sidelines. It happens every week. And so Christian's playing, through the whistle, and as long as the player's in bounds, he's going to try to hit him legally.
And he did. And once again, you can just get out of bounds. You don't have to be a tough guy. Tough guy is playing every single week. A tough guy plays 17 games. That's what your goal should be. Not, hey, did you see me run over that defensive back? And I've seen way too many quarterbacks think they're tough enough to do this, and they're not. They're not built that way. These guys are ready to hit you. They know how to hit you, and they want to hurt you. If you're a quarterback, get out of bounds. Yes, Paulie?
If you watch a hit by Christian Ellis, Jackson Dart is not going out of bounds. Like, he's not doing that, like, ease up, we're all agreeing that I'm turning towards the sidelines. He's still going forward. And Christian Ellis, you can't hit him in the pocket. You can't hit him low. You can't really hit him high. This is your opportunity to decleat someone, and these guys are going to take it. And Aikman said it was a legal play.
Yes, and Aikman said that Jackson Dart has got to change his style. And that's coming from a guy who had multiple concussions and ended his career sooner than he probably wanted to. But I like Jackson Dart's energy. I like what he's given to the team. But I just want you to harness that and use it when you need to use that. Yes, Marvin.
Yeah, and unfortunately now, when I watch Jackson Dart, I look at him the way we do Tua, where every time he gets, you start wincing when he starts running, like, slide, please, because now all we think of is the concussions more so than your quarterback play.
Yeah, Paulie.
And totally being a tough guy when it's necessary. If it's the fourth quarter of Week 17 and you're trying to get in the playoffs, be a tough guy. Put your head down. Get plays. You're 2-10 in a football game that doesn't really matter. Let's make some nice throws and get out of here for next year.
Yeah, it's surprising. And, Brian Dable, maybe part of the reason why he lost his job is they were doing design runs for Jackson Dart, and he had a couple of concussions or games where there were concussion symptoms there. And in the blue tent, I got to protect my quarterback. I think the Giants have found their quarterback. I think he's really good, but he hasn't learned anything. And that's what scares me. Just like you said, hey, anybody who knows how I play. Now, his dad, played that way. Dad was a tough guy, defensive player. You're a quarterback. The ability to be available. That's the key. For these quarterbacks, look at the number of injuries at that position. And they're protecting the quarterback the best they can. That will give you an idea of just how violent the game is. But watching Jackson Dart, and I thought, is he going to try to do a Mahomes where he dances down the sideline, the defensive player can't hit him, and then all of a sudden he got popped, and I go, okay, if that doesn't get his attention, then nothing's going to get his attention. And as we heard from him after the game, it's not sinking in. Yes, Todd.
And you think you're being selfless, but you're actually being selfish because there's so much invested in you, and they want this guy to be their quarterback for the future to try to get that extra yard or two. You got to kind of think ahead a little bit that this organization has got so much invested in you. It's not about getting an extra yard or two. It's not the end of the fourth quarter of a playoff game where you got to pick up that first down or the game's over or anything.
I don't know if his teammates are going to go, did you see him get out of bounds? Come on. Nobody's going to say that. Just walk out of bounds. If you get one extra yard, I don't know if your team with 2 wins goes, yes, now we're back. Like, you're just getting experience. That's all you're doing. It's getting information here to take into next year. Maybe you get a new head coach, but you do have some positives here. Scatterboo, Malik Neighbors, a couple of defensive players. okay, you might be able to be competitive. But how about you get ready for next season? Not I'm going to show these guys. Wow, you really showed the Patriots. Get out of bounds. Yeah, Paulie.
I was watching the Manning cast for a little bit, and they were discussing the dart hit, and they showed a clip. You know, they always bag on Peyton Manning, and they showed Manning avoiding a sack where he just kind of laid down. But I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Peyton or Eli. Peyton's first 10 years in the league, he didn't miss a start. And he goes, my job is to not get hit. We paid millions of dollars to offensive linemen to keep me from getting hit. I'm not going to volunteer to get hit.
But every week we find this. There'll be a quarterback who wants to take on somebody. And boy, are they waiting. Yes, Dylan.
Well, there's also like elusivity guys, and like Jackson, like Lamar's elusive. He runs a lot, but he doesn't take these like huge hits that like Jackson Dart, Josh Allen, some of those guys.
But
do.
even Lamar Jackson's not running anywhere near what he used to.
No.
Like, it's far more strategic there. Now, Josh Allen is a unicorn, okay, because he's as big as the guys who are trying to hit him. And he's delivering a blow. But, you know, that's just different. You know, he's the second coming of Cam Newton when it comes to running the football. But these other quarterbacks, you think it's great for morale and you want to show your teammates you're tough. You'll show them that you're tough by playing every single game. That's really hard to do. Not many quarterbacks go wire to wire each season, play all 17 games, and then maybe you play in the playoffs. Yes, Marv?
Yeah, and it's weird to say this, but he wants to be known as a football player. We want you to be known as a quarterback. Like, don't use those shoulder pads. And it's hard because I'm sure in the culture he grew up in, being raised by a football guy, he thinks of himself as a football player. No, the rest of you guys are quarterbacks. I'm here to play football, and that's not what the NFL. No. We want you to use the arms, not the shoulder pads, to throw the ball, not to try to run people over.